Welcome to Lit with Ernest, the podcast where we cut through the noise and get to the heart of great literature. I'm your host, Ernest, and today we're talking about a giant in the world of words, Geoffrey Chaucer. You might know him as the father of English literature, and for good reason. His work has had a lasting impact on the way we write, think, and feel. Chaucer was born around 1343 in London, England, to a family of wine merchants. Yes, you heard that right, wine merchants. It's interesting to note that his father, John Chaucer, was a prominent figure in the wine trade, and this exposure to the world of commerce and international trade likely influenced Geoffrey's writing. As a young man, Chaucer worked as a civil servant, serving as a page to King Edward III, and later as a diplomat and courtier. These experiences gave him a unique perspective on the social hierarchy of his time and informed his writing about the human condition. Chaucer's education was likely influenced by his family's connections to the mercantile class. He attended the St. Paul's Cathedral School in London, where he would have studied Latin, French, and Italian, languages that would later become essential tools for his literary craft. His love of learning and literature led him to continue his studies, possibly at the University of Oxford or the University of Cambridge, although there's no definitive proof of this. He's best known for his masterpiece, the Canterbury Tales, a collection of stories written in Middle English that explore themes of love, morality, and social class. What's remarkable about the Canterbury Tales is its accessibility, Chaucer wrote in the vernacular, using everyday language that ordinary people could understand rather than relying on Latin or French, which were the languages of the elite. This democratization of literature helped to create a sense of community among readers and paved the way for future generations of writers. Chaucer's other notable works include Troilus and Cresseid, a tragic love story set during the Trojan War, and The House of Fame, an allegorical poem that explores the nature of fame and reputation. These works demonstrate Chaucer's mastery of various literary forms and his ability to experiment with different styles and themes. Chaucer's legacy is immense. He influenced generations of writers, from William Shakespeare to John Dryden, and his work helped shape the English language itself. His emphasis on character development, storytelling, and accessibility has become a hallmark of great literature. The English Renaissance, which saw a resurgence in classical learning and artistic innovation, owes a debt to Chaucer's pioneering work. However, it's also important to acknowledge the limitations and criticisms of Chaucer's work. Some scholars argue that his writing is too focused on the aristocracy, neglecting the experiences of the lower classes. Others have pointed out that his portrayal of women is often one-dimensional or stereotypical. These critiques are valid and remind us that even the greatest writers are products of their time, with all the biases and blind spots that come with it. So, what can we learn from Chaucer's work today? For one, his emphasis on character development and storytelling remains essential to great literature. His use of language, too, is a masterclass in clarity and precision. But perhaps most importantly, Chaucer reminds us that literature should be accessible, not just to the elite, but to everyone. In an age where social media and technology have created new barriers to entry for writers, Chaucer's commitment to making literature available to all is more relevant than ever. From the medieval period to the present day, Chaucer's influence can be seen in everything from Shakespeare's plays to modern novels like The Handmaid's Tale. His work serves as a reminder that literature has the power to transcend time and circumstance, speaking to fundamental human experiences that remain constant despite the changing world around us. In conclusion, Geoffrey Chaucer's impact on literature is still felt today. He was a true original, a writer who spoke truth to power and gave voice to the common people. That's all for today's Lit with Ernest. Like this episode if it hit true. Share it if you respect honest talk about books. Subscribe, because we'll do this again. This is Ernest, signing off.